Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय। श्रील वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय।
Jai
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai
सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's session of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat reading. We are reading Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Khanda, chapter 19, Sri Advaita Grihe Vilasa Varnana, description of pastimes in Lord Advaita's home. O Lord Chaitanya, O Master of all the Vaishnavas, glory to you. O Lord, please give the conditioned souls the gift of devotional service. Please accept them as your own devotees. In this way, Lord Chaitanya enjoyed pastimes in Navadvip. Still, his pastimes were not visible to the eyes of everyone. In home after home, he enjoyed pastimes with Nityananda, Gadadhar, and the other devotees. The devotees became filled with spiritual bliss given to them by the Lord. They saw all the worlds were filled with Lord Krishna's presence. They were always wrapped in the ecstasy of love for Lord Krishna. They were never in external consciousness. Sankirtan was their only activity. They did nothing else. Lord Advaita was the most wild of all the devotees. No one understood the fathomless deep meaning of his activities. Only by Lord Chaitanya's mercy can one understand Advaita Acharya, who is Lord Chaitanya's great devotee and is the master of Shantipur. When he returned to external consciousness, Lord Chaitanya devotedly served the Vaishnavas. Especially he served Advaita Acharya. At this, Advaita Acharya was very unhappy. In his thoughts, he made sounds like thunder. In his heart, he was not happy. He thought, this thief always cheats and mocks me. Renouncing his position as the Supreme Master, he grasps my feet. The Lord is very powerful. I have no power against him. He forcibly takes the dust of my feet. The power of devotional service is my only recourse. Without engaging in devotional service, no one can understand Lord Chaitanya. When I break apart material illusion and crush into powder, the people call me Advaita, the lion. This thief defeated Bhrigu Muni. I will gather hundreds and hundreds of disciples like Bhrigu. Then great anger will take birth in the Lord's body. With his own hand, the Lord will punish me. The Lord descended to this world to teach devotional service. I will not give any importance to devotional service. That I will teach. When I say that devotional service is not important, the Lord will forget himself with anger. Then the Lord will grab me by the hair and punish me. Thinking in this way, Advaita became very happy. Accompanied by Haridas, Advaita went on a journey. To execute his plan, he went to his home in Shantipur. To further the plan of his heart, he began to study. Wrapped in ecstatic love, he became like a wild man. Preaching the philosophy of impersonalism, he began to give lectures on the book Yoga Vashishta. He said, without first accepting the philosophy of impersonalism, devotion to Lord Vishnu has no power. Impersonalism is the life of all spiritual activity. Impersonalism has all spiritual power. Not understanding the truth of impersonalism, people leave the wealth they have at home and go to the forest. Devotion to Lord Vishnu is a mirror, and impersonal philosophy is a pair of eyes. How can a man without eyes look in a mirror? I have studied all the scriptures from beginning to end. In this way, I have understood that impersonalism alone is the true teaching of the scriptures. Haridas understood Advaita's actions very well. Hearing these explanations, Haridas laughed very, very, very loudly. Advaita Acharya's actions are inconceivable. No one can plumb their depths. Pious persons think his actions are good. Impious persons think they are bad. Lord Chaitanya, who is like a kalpavriksha tree that fulfills all desires in his heart, understood Advaita's desire. One day, Lord Chaitanya happily walked in the town. Sorry, where did I go? Sorry. One day. Yes, here.
28, Mataji.
Yeah, 28. Thank you. One day, Lord Chaitanya happily walked in the town. Accompanied by Lord Nityananda, he looked at the world he had created. Concluding that his work was good, the demigod Brahma thought in his heart, with his own eyes, the Supreme Lord looks at my craftsmanship. Like two moons, the two lords walked about. To the extent that they possessed humbleness and devotion, the people were able to see the two lords. Staying in the sky, the demigods saw everything. In their hearts, they thought the two lords were two moons. Thinking the two lords were moons, the demigods mistook their worlds for the earth and the earth for Swargaloka. Because the moons are up, right? They're in the Swarga. And they saw moons on the earth, so they're thinking that is Swarga and we are on earth. The idea that they were human beings took birth among them. The effulgence of the two moons convinced them that the human beings must be demigods. Gazing at the two moons, they said, in Swargaloka, there never were two moons. One demigod said, please hear my words. One of them is the original moon. The other one is a reflection. Another demigod said, I think that we are fortunate, for Lord Narayan has created two moons for us. Another demigod said, father and son often look alike. I think one of these is the moon and the other is the moon's son Mars. Even the Vedas cannot understand the truth of the Lord's form. Therefore, it is not surprising that the demigods were so bewildered. In this way, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda walked about the town. Lord Chaitanya said to Lord Nityananda, let us visit Advaita Acharya's home in Shantipur. Happy and playful, the two lords walked on the path to Advaita Acharya's home. Halfway on the path to Shantipur, near the Ganga, they came to a village called Lalitapur. In this village lived a householder sannyasi. Householder sannyasi. His house was by the path near the Ganga. Lord Chaitanya asked Lord Nityananda, "Whose house is this and who lives here? Please tell." Lord Nityananda replied, "This is a sannyasi's home." Lord Chaitanya said, "If we are fortunate, we may see him." Smiling and laughing, the two lords went to the sannyasi's house. Lord Chaitanya offered obeisances to the sannyasi. Gazing at the charming forms, blossoming faces, and graceful limbs of the two Brahmana sons, the sannyasi happily offered many blessings. "May you have wealth, fame, a good marriage, a good learning," he said. Then Lord Chaitanya said, "A true sannyasi does not give a blessing like that. A true sannyasi will say, 'May you attain Lord Krishna's mercy.' Devotion to Lord Vishnu is the true blessing. It is eternal and can never be lost. That blessing a true sannyasi will give. What you said is not right." Laughing, the sannyasi said, "Today I have found the proof of what I heard before. A person who speaks sweet words will find himself beaten with sticks. This Brahmana son acts like that. I cheerfully blessed him that he will become wealthy. What has happened to the good deed I just did? What fault is there on my part?" The sannyasi continued, "Listen, Brahmana boy, why do you criticize my blessing? If a person born in this world does not enjoy pastimes with beautiful, amorous women and does not have any wealth, then what is he doing with his life? I think I give you the blessing to become wealthy and you only become embarrassed to receive it. You may be a devotee of Lord Vishnu, but how do you maintain your body without money? Tell me that." Hearing the sannyasi's words, Lord Chaitanya laughed. Lifting his graceful hand, he placed it on his forehead. By these actions, Lord Chaitanya taught everyone one should not desire anything but devotional service. Lord Chaitanya said, "Please listen. Listen, O Sannyasi Goswami. It is because of his past karma that a living being eats food and encounters various situations. If the purpose of life in this world is to enjoy wealth and family, then please tell me, why are wealth and family always taken away at death? No one desires disease. Why do diseases torture our bodies? Listen, listen, O Sannyasi Goswami. The reason for all this is karma. A person who is wise understands the heart of all this. Someone may claim that the Vedas teach how to ascend to Swargaloka. This teaching is an example of the Vedas' mercy to fools. Most people are happy to enjoy material sense pleasures. Knowing the people's heart, the Vedas speak about Swargaloka. Are the Vedas not at fault for this? Hearing the Vedas say, by bathing in the Ganga and chanting the holy name of Lord Hari, one attains wealth and happy family life, the people follow. However, by the power of bathing in the Ganga and chanting the holy name of Lord Hari, the people attain devotional service to the Lord. This secret purpose of the Vedas, the fools do not know. Rejecting devotional service to Lord Krishna, they plunge into material pleasures. O Goswami, please consider what is good and bad. Nothing is better than devotional service to Lord Krishna. Assuming the role of teacher, Shiksha Guru, to the sannyasi, the Supreme Lord explained that the Vedas teach the superiority of devotional service. What Lord Chaitanya says is the truth. Only sinners mock and reject his words. Hearing Lord Chaitanya's words, the sannyasi laughed and thought, I think this Brahmana is crazy. Some mantra must be the reason for his craziness. I think the sannyasi with him must have given him these ideas. That is why the Brahmana boy is so bewildered. Then the sannyasi said, the time has come. Standing before a child, I know nothing. I have traveled all over the earth. I have traveled to Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, Badrikashram, Guruvata, Varanasi, Gaya, Vijayanagari, Simhachala, and all the important cities. I do not know what is right. What I say is wrong. Now a boy still drinking his mother's milk must give me instruction. Laughing, Lord Nityananda said, listen, sannyasi, you shouldn't argue with a child. I know how glorious you are. Please glance at us and forgive everything. Hearing himself praised, the sannyasi became happy and cheerfully invited his guests to a meal. Lord Nityananda said, we must hurry on urgent business. Please give us something. After bathing, we will stop on the path and eat. Bathing means they'll go to the river, take bath, and come back. The sannyasi said, bathe here, eat something, rest, and then go. The two lords had descended to this world to save the sinners. That is why they stayed at the sannyasi's home. Bathing in the Ganga, they washed away the fatigue of their journey on the road. Then they sat down to eat some fruit. They offered some milk, mangoes, panasa, and other fruit to Lord Krishna. And then, as the sannyasi looked on, they ate the remnants. A follower of the left path, the sannyasi was accustomed to drinking wine. Again and again, gesturing to Lord Nityananda, he said, listen, Shripad, shall I bring some bliss? Where will I find guests like you? Having traveled in different places, Lord Nityananda understood everything. In his heart, he thought, this sannyasi drinks wine. Again and again, the sannyasi said, I will bring some bliss. Lord Nityananda said, we must leave now. Gazing at the two lords, handsome like Kamadev, gazing at the two lords, handsome like Kamdev, and becoming rapt in thinking of them, the sannyasi's wife desired them. She rebuked the sannyasi. Why do you interrupt their meal? Then Lord Chaitanya said, what is this bliss the sannyasi talks about? Lord Nityananda said, he means wine. Calling out, Vishnu, Vishnu, Lord Chaitanya rinsed his mouth and ran from the house. The two lords ran and jumped in the Ganga. They swam in the Ganga until they came to Advaita Acharya's house. In this way, the Lord was merciful even to a debauched wine drinker. Still, he destroys even the Vedantists if they become blasphemers. This sannyasi drank wine and enjoyed the company of women. Still, Lord Chaitanya visited his home. Lord Chaitanya conversed with him, taught him, rested in his home, and accepted the meal he offered. In that birth, the sannyasi did not become saintly, but in another birth, he will. But the blasphemers do not soon become saintly at heart. A non devotee sannyasi cannot see the Lord. The sannyasis of Varanasi bear witness to this truth. In the Antyakanda of this book, the sannyasis of Varanasi hear of Lord Chaitanya's arrival there. Hearing this news, the sannyasis became joyful. Hearing this news, the great souls there declared, let us see Lord Chaitanya. The Vedantists, philosophers, ascetics, famous persons, and persons living from birth in Varanasi all shared the same fault. In commenting on Vedanta Sutra, they never discussed devotional service to Lord Vishnu. Because he is the super soul in the hearts of all, the fair lion of Lord Chaitanya knew everything. Even though he went to Varanasi, he did not allow the people there to see him. Hiding in Ramachandrapuri's Matha, he stayed for 2 months in Varanasi. 2 days before the festival of Vishwarup Kshaura, he secretly left. Only later did some of them see him. Only later did the sannyasis hear of this. Lord Chaitanya went to Varanasi, but he did not allow the people to see him. The sin of blasphemy robs all intelligence. The sin of blasphemy robs all intelligence. In whose heart will suffering not take birth because of blasphemy? They said, "We are sannyasis. Why did he leave without speaking with us? Why did he leave 2 days early and neglect his duty? Why did he refuse to observe the Vishwarup Kshaura ceremony?" And that must be the ceremony observed by all the Mayavad sannyasis. So just 2 days before, so Varanasi is the place where all the sannyasis are there, the impersonal sannyasis are there. And it's like their place of pilgrimage. And there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being a sannyasi, he was there. And maybe this is their biggest festival, Vishwarup Kshaura ceremony. Just 2 days before that, without attending that festival, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left. So they are offended. Why did he leave 2 days early and neglect his duty? Why did he refuse to observe the Vishwarup Kshaura ceremony? Non-devotees think like that. Lord Shiva never accepts worship offered by blasphemers. The blasphemers who live in Varanasi are all punished by Lord Shiva. They who offend Lord Shiva are not eligible to worship Lord Vishnu. Lord Chaitanya delivers everyone except the sinners who blaspheme Vaishnavas. Lord Chaitanya bathed and ate at a wine drinker's home, but he would not even show himself to the blasphemer Vedantists. Souls who in their hearts do not fear punishment from Lord Chaitanya will be punished by Yamaraj birth after birth. A person who is not delighted by Lord Chaitanya's glories, glories always described by the mouths of Brahma, Shiva, and goddess Lakshmi, the mother of all, has uselessly accepted sannyas. He uselessly studies Vedanta. The two lords joyfully swam in the Ganga's waves. Again and again, Lord Chaitanya roared, "I am he! I am he! Nara broke my sleep and brought me here." Now he hides the truth of devotional service and preaches impersonalism. "Today I will see him with my own eyes. I will punish him. Today everyone will see what happens to the impersonalists." Roaring in this way, Lord Chaitanya swam in the Ganga's current. Remaining silent, Lord Nityananda smiled within his heart. In this way, the two lords swam in the Ganga. They were like Lord Vishnu and Anantasesh in the milk ocean, very powerful because of his devotional service. Advaita understood what was about to happen. In his heart, he thought, "Now my actions will bear fruit." Understanding the Lord is coming with great anger, Advaita preached impersonalism more wildly than before. Who has the power to understand the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya's devotees? The two lords met on the Ganga's path. Which two lords? Advaitacharya? No, Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They met on the Ganga's path, accompanied by Lord Nityananda, and his face filled with anger. Lord Chaitanya went to see Advaita. Preaching impersonalism, Advaita happily swayed to and fro. He's preaching away. Seeing Lord Chaitanya, Haridas offered Dandavat obeisances. Advaita's son Achyuta also offered obeisances. In her heart, Advaita's wife offered obeisances. Seeing the Lord's form, in her heart she worried. Lord Chaitanya was brilliant like 10 million suns. Gazing at him, everyone felt fear take birth in their hearts. His face filled with anger. Lord Chaitanya said, Nara, look at impersonalism and devotional service and tell me, of the two, which is better?" Advaita replied, "Impersonalism is always better. Unless one is an impersonalist, how can one hope to attain devotional service?" Hearing Advaita say impersonalism is better, Lord Chaitanya became enraged. He forgot the external world. Dragging him from his seat, Lord Chaitanya raised his fist and struck Advaita. Understanding everything, Advaita's devoted wife, who is the mother of the worlds, became agitated. She called out, "He's an old Brahmana, an old Brahmana. Spare his life by punishing him. Whom do you teach? What more will you do to this old Brahmana? Why can you not leave him in peace?" Hearing the saintly woman's words, Lord Nityananda smiled. Frightened, Haridas meditated on Lord Krishna. Angry, Lord Chaitanya did not hear the saintly woman's words. With angry words, he loudly rebuked Advaita. "I slept on the milk ocean. Then you, Nara, woke me to fulfill your mission. You brought me here to teach devotional service. Now you're hiding devotional service and teaching impersonalism. If you wanted to hide devotional service, if that's what was in your heart, then why did you bring me here to teach it? I did not go against your desire. Why do you cheat me?" After thus rebuking Advaita, Lord Chaitanya sat down by the door. Then, speaking in a loud voice, he revealed the truth about himself. Ah, ah, it was I who killed Kamsa. Look, Nara, you know everything. Brahma, Shiva, Sesha, and Lakshmi all serve me. My chakra killed the jackal Vasudev. Vasudev matlab the false one, Paundraka. My chakra burned Varanasi. My arrow killed powerful Ravana. My chakra cut Banasur's many arms. My chakra killed Narakasura. I held the hill with my left hand. I brought the Parijata from Swargaloka. I cheated Bali. I gave him mercy. I killed Hiranyakashipu and rescued Prahlad. Hearing Lord Chaitanya reveal his own glories, Advaita floated in an ocean of ecstatic love. Attaining his punishment, Advaita became filled with bliss. Now humble and submissive, he clapped his hands and danced. He said, "As I offended, so I was punished. The Lord was good to me. I got only a small punishment. Now I know that you are my master. You punished me for my misdeed. Lord, in my heart, I now have the strength to be your servant." Speaking these words, Advaita joyfully danced. Advaita joyfully danced everywhere in the courtyard. Then, knitting his eyebrows, he placed these words before Lord Chaitanya's feet. "Where has your flattery of me gone? Where has all your cheating gone? I am Durvasa. I am not Durvasa. Sorry. I am not Durvasa that you can insult me by anointing your lips with the remnants of my meal. Neither am I Bhrigumuni, the dust of whose feet you happily keep on your chest as the Srivatsa mark. My name is Advaita. I am your pure servant. Birth after birth, I yearn to taste the remnants of what you have eaten. The power of tasting what you have eaten, the power of tasting what you have eaten has made me free of Maya. You have punished me. Now please give me the shade of your feet." After speaking these words, Advaita humbly and devotedly fell to the ground and placed on his head Lord Chaitanya's feet. Respectfully picking him up, Lord Chaitanya embraced Advaita. Embraced, Advaita wept without restraint. Seeing Advaita's devotion, Nityananda also wept. It was as if a river of tears flowed from him. Falling to the ground, Haridas wept. Advaita's wife wept. Advaita's servants wept. Advaita's son Achyutananda wept. Advaita's home was filled with ecstatic love for Lord Krishna. Now Lord Chaitanya was embarrassed that he struck Advaita. To Advaita, he happily offered a boon. He said, "If anyone, for even half a sesame seed's worth of time, takes shelter of you, even if he is an insect, a worm, a beast, or a bird, or even if he has offended me 100 times, then I will give my mercy to him." Hearing this boon, the great soul Advaita wept. Grasping the Lord's feet, he humbly said, "O Lord, whatever you speak is never false. O Lord, please hear the solemn vow I now make. If anyone has devotion for me, but does not honor you, then I will destroy his devotion for me. Anyone who does not worship your lotus feet, anyone who does not worship your lotus feet or give honor to you is not my devotee. Lord, anyone who worships you is my very life. I cannot stay in the company of anyone who offends you. I will not even look at a person, even if he is my son or my servant, who offends a Vaishnava. If a person rejects you and worships 10 million demigods instead, the demigods, on some pretext, will destroy him. It is not I who say this. This is the teaching of the Vedas. Sudakshina's death is the proof of this. A prince of Varanasi named Sudakshina worshipped Lord Shiva in deep trance. Very pleased with him, Lord Shiva said, "Ask for a boon. You will get whatever you wish. Perform an abhichara yagya. However, if you offend a devotee of Lord Vishnu, that yagya will take away your life." Lord Shiva spoke these words to deceive Sudakshina. This Sudakshina did not understand. So on Lord Shiva's order, Sudakshina performed an abhichara yagya. Abhichara yagya is actually yagya done in the mode of ignorance. If you want to kill someone, right, then they do abhichara yagya. So on Lord Shiva's order, Sudakshina performed an abhichara yagya. From that yagya arose a very fearful being, a being with 3 hands, 3 feet, and 3 heads, a being taller than a palm tree. The creature said, "Ask for a boon." Prince Sudakshina said, "O noble one, burn up the city of Dwaraka." Hearing this, the creature, an incarnation of Lord Shiva, became unhappy, for he knew that desire would not be fulfilled. Following the order, the creature went to Dwaraka, where he was promptly attacked by the chakra that protects Dwaraka. Finding no way to escape, the great form of Lord Shiva fell down before the chakra's feet and said, "Durvasa could not escape from you. Brahma and Shiva could not protect Durvasa from you. What is my power compared to the power of these great Vaishnavas? Where can I flee? Lord, you may do with me whatever you like. Glory, glory to my master who bears the name Sudarshan. Glory to the chakra who is the abode of Lord Krishna and who is another glory of Lord Shiva. Glory to the great chakra, glory to the greatest of Vaishnavas. Glory to he who makes the demons fearful. Glory to he who protects they who are not demons." Hearing this prayer, the Sudarshan Chakra happily said, "Go and burn up the prince of Varanasi." Then the fearsome creature returned and burnt up the prince of Varanasi. Neglecting you, the prince worshipped only Lord Shiva. That is why the prince died in his yagya. O Lord, this I say, if anyone neglects you and serves me instead, then I will destroy him. I will burn him up. You are the master of my life. You are my wealth. You are my mother and father. You are my kinsman. If anyone neglects you and bows down before me, then I will cut off his head. King Satrajit directly saw the sun god and worshipped him with devotion. But when Satrajit disobeyed your order, the sun god became displeased. When Satrajit and his brother both died, the sun god was happy to see it. Duryodhan was Lord Balaram's disciple. Still, when he offended you, Duryodhan perished with all his kinsmen. Huh? So Duryodhan was Lord Balaram's disciple. Still, when he offended you, Duryodhan perished with all his kinsmen. Hiranyakashipu obtained a great boon from the demigod Brahma. Still, when he offended you, Hiranyakashipu perished with all his kinsmen. Cutting off some of his heads, 10-headed Ravana worshipped Lord Shiva. Still, when he offended you, Ravana perished with all his kinsmen. You are the root of all the demigods. You are the master of all. All persons, visible and invisible, are your servants. When a person neglects the master, and worships the servant eats the offerings and then destroys the offender. I'll read that again. When a person neglects the master and worships the servant eats the offerings and then destroys the offender. A person who neglects you and then worships Shiva and the other demigods is like a person who cuts off a tree's roots and then worships the twigs and branches. You are the root of the Vedas, Brahmanas, Yagyas, and religion. I do not accept worship from anyone who does not worship you. Hearing Advaita's description of these spiritual truths, Lord Chaitanya roared, "Everyone, please give your thoughts to me. Please hear the truth I will now say. Anyone who neglects my servant and then worships me is very lowly and degraded. Such a person cuts me into pieces. His worship is like fire burning my body. Anyone who neglects the Lord's servant and worships the Lord, that worship is like fire burning the Lord's body to him. It feels like burning. My holy name, which is a Kalpavriksha tree, destroys anyone who once blasphemes my servant. That means I blaspheme a devotee, and then when I chant the holy name, that holy name will destroy me. The living entities who live in the numberless universes. And now next you'll get a question, then who is the Lord's servant? Someone who chants 16 rounds? Someone who chants 64 rounds? Who is the Lord's servant? The Lord is saying, the living entities who live in the numberless universes are all my servants. All living entities are my servants, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. Therefore, any living entity who harms another living entity will perish. Look at that blanket statement. The living entities who live in the numberless universes are all my servants. Therefore, any living entity who harms another living entity will perish. You are more dear to me than my own body. Anyone who offends you will not be able to bear the fate that waits for him. It's going to be so horrible. He won't be able to bear the fate that's awaiting him. Who? Anyone who offends Advaita Acharya and then worships Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If a sannyasi blasphemes an innocent person, the sannyasi will fall down. All his piety will perish. Raising his arms, fair Lord Chaitanya declared to the entire world, renouncing criticism of others, everyone, please chant Lord Krishna's name. That's all. Only two things Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking of us. Give up criticizing others and chant Krishna's name. Bas. I will personally deliver anyone who does not criticize others and who once chants Krishna. That is the truth. It is the truth. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying. When Lord Chaitanya spoke these words, the devotees responded with Jai, Jai, Jai. Grasping Lord Chaitanya's feet, Advaita wept. Embracing Advaita, Lord Chaitanya wept. The whole world floated in love for Advaita. That is the very inconceivable story of Lord Advaita. Who has the power to understand Advaita's words? Please know that Advaita is not different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. If he truly understood them, the hearer would find the arguments and insults Nityananda and Advaita speak to each other are filled with bliss. The words and activities of Lord Vishnu and the Vaishnavas are very difficult to understand. Only by their mercy can one understand the heart of those words and activities. Only Lord Anantasesh, who sings their names and glories with his 1,000 mouths, has the power to understand the conversation of Nityananda and Advaita. Glancing for a moment at Lord Advaita, Lord Chaitanya smiled and said, "It was a little mischievous. I acted like a child." Advaita replied, "Nothing about you is material." Lord Chaitanya said, "Please listen, O noble-hearted Nityananda. If I was a little mischievous, please forgive me." Looking at each other, Nityananda, Chaitanya, Advaita, and Haridas all laughed. Then, addressing her as mother, Lord Chaitanya spoke to Advaita's saintly and devoted wife. Lord Chaitanya said, "Go quickly, cook, offer the meal to Lord Krishna, then I will eat the remnants." Then, accompanied by Nityananda, Haridas, Advaita, and the others, Lord Chaitanya went to bathe in the Ganga. In the future, the Vedas will elaborately describe all these blissful pastimes. After bathing, the Lord and the devotees returned to Advaita's home. After washing his feet, Lord Chaitanya offered Dandavat obeisances before the deity of Lord Krishna. Then Advaita fell down before the soles of Lord Chaitanya's feet. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is offering Dandavats, at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya is offering Dandavats. And Haridas fell down before the soles of Advaita Acharya's feet. Seeing these wonderful pastimes, Nityananda smiled. He who is the original author of religion, who manifests in three forms. So he is the original author of religion and he is manifest in three forms. Who? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya, and Haridas. So Nityananda Prabhu is smiling, thinking like this. Seeing Advaita at the soles of his feet, Lord Chaitanya hastily rose and chanted, "Vishnu, Vishnu," accompanied by Nityananda and holding Advaita's hand. Lord Chaitanya happily entered the dining room. The three lords, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, and Lord Advaita, sat down together in the dining room. Each of the three lords had his own nature. Lord Nityananda's nature was that of a mischievous boy. Haridas sat down at the dining room's entrance. He was qualified to see all these pastimes. Chanting Hari Hari, Advaita's saintly wife, who was the queen of yoga, served the meal to the three lords. The three lords eagerly ate the meal of splendid rice, ghee, milk, and sweet rice. Glancing at Advaita, Nityananda smiled. He who is one person had become two for Lord Krishna's pastimes. When everyone was full, a little more food remained. Then Nityananda became like a boy, throwing the rice here and there in the house. Nityananda laughed. Lord Chaitanya called out, "Hi, hi!" Haridas smiled. Seeing all this, Advaita burned with flames of anger. On the pretext of being angry, he explained the truth of Lord Nityananda. He said, "This Nityananda has destroyed our caste. From where did he come? He stays with drunkards. He has no guru. Still, he calls himself a sannyasi. I do not know for certain even the village where he was born. No one knows him, and no one knows his family and caste." Swaying to and fro, he wanders about like a drunken elephant. In the West, he ate rice in house after house. Then he came here. Now he stays among the Brahmanas. This drunken Nityananda will destroy everything. That is the truth. Truth, truth. Listen to me, Haridas. Filled with anger, Advaita made himself clothed only by the four directions, clapping his hands and loudly laughing. He danced. Seeing Advaita's actions, Lord Chaitanya laughed. Laughing, Nityananda pointed two fingers at Advaita. What does that mean? The laughter directed at Advaita was completely pure. Young and old laughed. After a moment, everyone returned to external consciousness. They rinsed their mouths and then they happily embraced. Nityananda and Advaita embraced. Tasting the nectar of ecstatic love, the two lords were filled with bliss. Nityananda and Advaita are the two arms of Lord Chaitanya's body. They always love each other. There is not a moment when they do not love each other. Please see this quarrel as Lord Krishna's pastime. Lord Vishnu and the Vaishnavas play like children. In this way, Lord Chaitanya enjoyed pastimes in Advaita's home. Filled with bliss, he enjoyed pastimes of Sankirtan. Only Lord Balaram has the power to understand these pastimes. Others do not understand all the glories of these pastimes. By Lord Balaram's mercy, Goddess Saraswati also understands these pastimes. Staying on the devotees' tongues, Saraswati sings the glories of these pastimes. I do not know the sequence of all these pastimes. I only try to sing the glories of Lord Krishna as far as I am able. I bow down before the feet of Lord Chaitanya's dear devotees. O devotees, please forgive all my offenses. For some days, Lord Chaitanya stayed in Advaita's home. Then the three lords returned to Navadvip. Accompanied by Nityananda, Advaita, and Haridas, Lord Chaitanya returned to his home. Hearing the Lord has come, the Vaishnavas joyfully ran to see him. Gazing at the Lord's moon-like face, the devotees felt all their sufferings were taken away. Grasping the Lord's feet, the devotees wept. Lord Chaitanya is the life of all the devotees. He lovingly embraced them all. The Lord's personal associates are like the Lord's own incarnations. They are all very kind and generous. They are the best of the devotees. They all bowed down before Lord Advaita, whose devotional activities made Lord Chaitanya descend to this world. The Vaishnavas were all wild with bliss. Accompanied by the Lord, they made a great tumult of chanting Lord Krishna's names. Seeing her son, Mother Sachi was overcome with bliss. Accompanied by her daughter-in-law, she offered prayers of thanks to Lord Krishna. Only thousand-faced Lord Anantasesh has the power to describe these pastimes. He is my life, birth after birth. Who? Anantasesh. Who's saying? Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying. He is my life, birth after birth. Dvija, Vipra, and Brahmana are three names for the same thing. Dvija, Vipra, and Brahmana are the three names for the same thing. In the same way, Nityananda and Balaram are different names of the same person. Anyone who hears these pastimes Lord Chaitanya enjoyed at Advaita's home will one day attain the Lord. One day he will meet the Lord. The two moons, Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda, are my life and soul. I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their feet. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. Prabhuji, Chatterjee Prabhu.
I did not understand what is Jacob Basudev.
Ah.
Jackal Basudev.
Jackal Vasudev means he's not real Vasudev. There's one person, Poundraka. Poundraka, he's actually a king of Varanasi, but he told everyone, I am Krishna, I am Vasudev. See, I have four hands and I have Shankar Chakra Gada. So he just he put two artificial hands and he put Shankar Chakra Gada Padma in his hands and he told everyone, I am Vasudev. That person who is in Dwaraka, that's not Vasudev. Vasudev Krishna, that's not Vasudev. He is an imposter. I am real Vasudev. And saying this, he wrote a letter to Krishna and he said, you should immediately give up all these symbols of Shankha Chakra Gada Padma because they belong to me. You are an imposter. If you don't do, I'm going to come and kill you. I'll fight with you. Like that. So when Krishna saw that letter, he just laughed. So when Krishna faced him in battle, he saw him all dressed up like Vasudev, That's why Jackal Vasudev means this is not the real, he is the imposter Vasudev.
This story is in Krishna book?
Yes, Krishna book.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare
See you.